What's up guys, I'm Mr. Audio, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to mix any track in any genre. And I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time, I just didn't know how to package up the information in a digestible way. So the method that I'm going to show you how to use is called the shotgun method, and it'll work in literally any scenario. But before I get into what that is, let me give you some background information on the track we're about to mix. So the track is called Diggin by Bodyrocka featuring DJ Fluff. We recorded Grip's vocals here, I made the beat here, DJ Fluff sent his vocals in. I chose each sound, instrument, and sample very carefully in this production. Which brings me to how to create a good mix. It all boils down to sample selection. Basically, you want to choose elements that are going to complement each other in such a way that it doesn't cause any phase issues or frequency masking. Basically, phase issues is where elements in the low end are causing your low end to be weaker because they're giving the speaker conflicting results. Basically, they're just not lining up properly. This can be solved in a couple of different ways, which we'll get into in this video. Frequency masking issues are where two sounds have too much of the same energy in the frequency spectrum, basically causing one sound to be more dominant than the other. You might have to do some crafty EQing and saturation to get both sounds to be present in the mix, if this is the case. And I'll get into how to solve both of these issues later on in this video. So now let's talk about the shotgun method. The shotgun method is basically putting an EQ on each element in the mix and boosting where it sounds best. Now, usually where you boost is around the fundamentals or the notes that you're playing. Sometimes, in rare cases, you may want to boost the harmonics because that's just what's going to cut through the mix on that element or instrument. I'll have an example of both of these in this video. And you can boost multiple spots on an element. Just keep in mind if you create too much of a buildup in the highs and mids, you may cause some frequency masking issues and one sound will be more dominant than the other. So try not to boost the same spot on two elements in the mix because that might cause some masking issues. But basically you want to use the shotgun method as a good once over and then go back and fix problems or make things stand out a little bit more or differently with some saturation or compression depending on the element in the mix. So let's get into it so I can show you how the shotgun method actually works. So how I like to start out is I start off by listening from the beginning and I just start working from there. I'll explain as I go, but basically I'm going to be making tracks that are MIDI into audio and keeping a backup of them as well. So I'm going to do that while this plays, so things might get louder, quieter. Just listen to the music while this is happening and observe how I prepare this track. This is a very important part of it, you know what I mean?
She a line and she hunting, call a little bottle with money. And it love starting, give her 20 bands a day for nothing like it ain't nothing. Now she telling everybody 20 bands and she ain't fucking. I ain't mad, I'm just saying need to have a deep discussion. She want the bag of luxury condos with double ovens. Only holler at niggas and phone to keep that pussy bubbling. Like, in the surgeon with the head game, have a sucker mumbling. Going shopping sprees, she don't need it, but she want it. And they gon' get up on another lick, believe me, yeah, she on it. Like that. Gucci, Prada, red bottoms, love spending. That's how she don't bring a hard hat before I go digging. Give it a shot. You wanna kick it cause you see the dish. I know you digging, try to diss me. Now you wanna kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intention, see the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go digging. Now you wanna kick it cause you see the dish. I know you digging, try to diss me. Now you
right, now we're freezing this. So as you can see, I'm just taking any MIDI tracks, freezing, duplicating them, and then muting the audio on the duplicate, minimizing it, so I have a copy of it. So if I want to, I can go back in and edit it. You know what I mean? Now I can just start with my EQs, like I said. So you want to grab an EQ that's easy to work with. If I had Fab Filter, I'm sure I'd be using that, but Isotope's Neutron works great. So I'm going to solo this out, find what sounds best, and boost that, and see if that works. Maybe cut the lows. All right, that's a good sound. Now I'll do this one. And so this is where I would boost the harmonics, because that's what's really going to cut through the mix. We're going to give kind of a wide cue. Still going to cut the lows on this. I like that sound right there. And we might even saturate this a little bit. See how these two sounds sound together? Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. I'm probably going to cut the lows here too. And I might saturate this too a little bit. Just a little bit. I like that. Now let's see how all three of these sounds sound together. Now let's add this fourth sound. Seems like I might want to turn this down to like 14.2. Take away some of that bite and the low. It sounds real nice, doesn't it? Now let's add this sound to it. I'm going to want to solo this out for a second here. of a lot of boost.
Now you wanna kick it 'cause you see the dish. I know you digging, trying to diss me. Now you wanna kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions, see.
And I'm going to get rid of anything that's on groups. So if a plugin is on a group, I'm going to put it on all of the individual tracks of that group. If it's a compressor, I'd obviously have to reset the compressor settings to each individual track to get that same or similar sound. Or if you're really set on that sound, I would resample that portion of it and totally shut the plugin off and just mute all those other tracks then. Okay, so let's say you had two instruments that were kind of clashing in the same part of the frequency spectrum, and one was kind of dominating. There are some that are happening in here. Let's dive in. So Neutron has this really cool feature where you can take and see frequency masking issues. So we're going to set this to piano. And if you click this little cool button down here, inverse link, it'll show you the EQ graph of the other instrument. And then when you have inverse link engaged, you can take and click somewhere on the frequency spectrum and create a bell filter or filter point. And it'll do the exact opposite on the other track. So as you can see, we've done something there. So now let's see if these two tracks shine in their own light. And I might want to take this off, turn this into like a bell filter, and kind of do something like that. So now you can see I'm doing different things on each EQ to let each instrument have their own place to shine on the frequency spectrum. So if you wanted both sounds to still have that same energy, you could pan one right and one left, and it wouldn't create any frequency masking issues because they'd be on opposite sides of the stereo image. You got to kind of think of the frequency spectrum and the stereo image as two separate places. Does that make sense? We got a couple high-end instruments left, then we'll tackle the low end in the drums. And you can see how fast you move through all of these instruments. Again, I'm probably just boosting everything. I want to cut the low end on that too. And you'll notice on most cases, I use very gentle slopes with my low cuts.
Saying and she hunting cold.
Now I like to take care of any phase issues that I might have. How I do that is I create a track and resample just the kick and 808 to this to look for any visual phase issues and then decide if that is a problem based on what I'm hearing in my ears. Let's create a track real quick. We'll hit resampling. If Ableton will load. We'll click record, and we're going to go up here and resample the kick and the bass. We got a solo mod first, though. And I'm just going to resample this 4-bar part. Okay, so this is what we're working with here. You can see a tiny little cancellation here, but nothing that's probably audible. That's just a kick. There's no cancellation here, no cancellation here. Tiny bit one here, but I doubt that's audible again. And no cancellation, no cancellation. And that's it. So it looks like that these two elements, this kick and 808, have a great phase relationship with each other, and they complement each other. That means they both tell the speaker to move forward at the same time, and they both tell the speaker to move backwards at the same time. So at this point, for these two elements, I probably wouldn't boost anywhere on the frequency spectrum. I might just saturate them. And let's see what that would look like. Let's grab something different.
How you miss?
Where is she going to just take some away from the output? I like that. Ah, it sounds nice. Okay. We're in business. Now I may try to boost something on the kick here, and it's just going to be the high end. And at this point, when I have these two elements working cohesively together, I like to solo out the rest of the drum groove and see how the groove sounds as a whole. All right, now for this part, I like to saturate the hi-hat and the snare a certain way, and I use EQ emphasis and de-emphasis. Basically, you take one EQ, you boost a certain spot, you take another EQ, you take exactly that same amount away, and you put a saturator or a compressor or some sort of effect in between. Basically, you're trying to boost going into the effect so that boosted portion gets more of the effect, and then you're cutting the boost out, so all you're left with is just that original sound plus the effect, especially saturated in that little area. All right, so let's get into this. So I would take my grit and paralimit. And I'm going to do something similar for the snare. Wait, what did I just do? And now I'm just listening for things that stick out, and I'm trying to tuck them back in where they belong. So basically, we've kind of gone over the shotgun method. Let's finish mixing the rest of the track. So right now, I'm probably just going to lower this point right here.
For the gas, she in line and she hunting, call another bottle with money. Any love starting, give it 20. Looking good as hell, but shot with that like the Eiffel Tower. Come on, show us suck a nigga bank account, she keep the vibe. Watch her for the gas, she in line and she hunting, call another bottle with money. Any love starting, give it 20 bands a day for nothing like it ain't nothing. Now she telling everybody 20 bands and she ain't fucking. I ain't mad, I'm just saying need to have a deep discussion. She want the bag of luxury condoms with double bubbers. Only holler at niggas and phone to keep that pussy bubbling. Like, in the surgeon with the head game, have a sucker mumbling. Go on shopping sprees, she don't need it, but she want it. And they gon' get it on another.
Okay.
Nothing like it ain't nothing. Now she telling everybody 20 bands and she ain't fucking. I ain't mad, I'm just saying need to have a deep discussion. She want the bag of luxury condoms. She want the bag of luxury.
Alright, so at this point in the mix, you want to take care of your waveform. And what I mean by that is make sure your transients are nicely tucked into it while still hearing them. You want to punch through the mix while still keeping that waveform nice and tight so you get a lot of headroom, so you can really shove the audio up into the limiter. Anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to resample everything here. And as you can see, the waveform looks pretty consistent, but we can still see some that we might need to tuck in. Let me show you. See, what happens is when you raise this into the clipper, you're going to get these peaks, right? Well, let's mute this 808 here and see what happens. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me, right? Okay. As you can see there, it's the 808 that's getting in the way. And it's probably because the 808 and the kick are hitting at the exact same time. Well, let's fix that. It's not that I don't want them to hit at the same time. It's that I don't want the bass frequencies to hit at the same time. So I'm going to take and I'm going to throw an EQ on this. And yes, we're going to throw it after the saturator because we're trying to shape the audio after what we've already created. Now I'm going to take this. And yes, it's going to kind of just do this, all right? Now, sidechain external kick. I'm going to come down here, go all the way up to kick, boom, just like that. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. Now let's resample and see what we get. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go. Now you want to kick it because. All right, this is good enough to work with. Let's just delete everything else and see what happens when we raise the clip gain of this audio. We've got some stragglers up here that are way higher than everything else, but for the most part, it's pretty consistent. But when you really push the audio up into it, you're clipping a lot off before you get to the rest of the audio. We don't want that. Let's listen to what it sounds like when we clip that off. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go. Now you want to kick it because. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter. And you know, I just don't like the way that sounds when boosted really high. And I'm going to go back and forth with this clipper here. So let's find a way, maybe we can take this and turn them both down by 1 dB. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intentions. See the matter, change your whole position. Yep, you go. Now you want to kick it because you see the dish. I know you're digging, trying to diss me. Now you want to kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say. All right, so when you get to this point, you're probably going to want to go back and forth between resampling and messing with your low-end elements. And by that I mean the kick and the 808 in this case. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the waveform to be more condensed while still getting all of that punch and, like, oomph from those low end elements. So let me show you what the waveform is supposed to look like when you're done, and you can hear the difference.
Kick it 'cause you see the dish. I know you dig it, try to diss me. Now you wanna kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intention, seen the mileage change your whole position. Yep, you go, nigga. Now you wanna kick it 'cause you see the dish. I know you dig it, try to diss me. Now.
And as you can see right here, the waveform looks very consistent, and it looks like we can really drive that into the limiter, clipper, and compressor, or whatever you're going to be using to master it. So at this point, I would listen to see if everything is there, and I'm thinking that I probably need to turn the vocals up overall just a little bit. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go down to the Vox. Just turn it up by 1 dB. So it's 1.9.
Kick it 'cause you see the dish. I know you dig it, try to diss me. Now you wanna kiss me like a car, you miss me.
Maybe it's just
Kick it 'cause you see the dish. I know you dig it, try to diss me. Now you wanna kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intention, seen the mileage change your whole position. Yep, you go, nigga. Now you wanna kick it 'cause you see the dish. I know you dig it, try to diss me. Now you wanna kiss me like a car, you miss me. I ain't tripping, I just know the difference. Say your false intention, seen the mileage change your whole position. Yep, you go, nigga. Yeah, she smell the paper from a mile away. Got super pies. All she want is a street nigga money. Yeah, fuck the flies, looking good as hell, but shouting with her like the Eiffel Tower. Come on, mile away, got super pies. All she want is a street nigga money. Yeah, fuck the flies, looking good as hell, but shouting with her like the Eiffel Tower. Come on, pies. All she want is a street nigga. Mile away, got super pies. All she want is a street nigga money. Yeah, fuck the flies, looking good as hell, but shouting with her like the Eiffel Tower. Come on. Mile away, got super pies. All she want is a street nigga money. Yeah, fuck the flies, looking good as hell, but shouting with her like the Eiffel Tower. Come on, show a sucker nigga bank account, she keep the buy.
Now I like to see what happens when I really just boost this up. As you can see, the waveform is fairly consistent, but I still have some transients really poking out. But I don't think I'm going to be able to tuck them into the mix without losing impact, if that makes any sense. So at this point, I would export it and see what happens. As a good first once over, I like the waveform I'm working with now, and I can hear all of the elements. Now is when I would export it, and I would run it through my mastering chain and see if I have any issues or problems. So basically, once I export it and bring it into my mastering chain, and I try clipping off the peaks of the transients, try compressing it, I might notice things that I could alter or fix in the mix that might make this an easier mastering job. So then I'll go in and fix those things and then export it and continue on with my mastering process. So I would actually often have my mastering chain already finished and set up, and I'm kind of like mixing into it like you would a mix bus almost, if that makes any sense. And that's how you mix using the shotgun method. Obviously, I added a few things in there, and I showed you how to take care of phase issues and frequency masking issues, but using this method, you can basically mix any track in any genre. As you can see how I just mixed this hip-hop track with a pop element to it, just using some EQ and some moderate saturation. Now, obviously, you can use compression, you can use other tools and other things, but this is a good starting point for those that are learning to mix their tracks. But that's basically how I mixed the track, and as you can see, it didn't take long at all to mix this whole entire track, because the sample selection was really great. Anyway, I hope this video helped. I hope you learned a lot. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mr. Audio, out.